Hi, this is Mark, and I want to welcome you to today's Fyrian training session where we're going to talk about how to add a Google map to your website. Adding interactive maps from Google is a fantastic way for visitors to your site to be able to find your locations and actually be able to get directions through Google from their door to yours. So let's talk about how to do this real quick. I have a template, or actually a temporary page set up here that I'm going to use as my platform for plugging in this information. But you can basically do this anywhere you see this content editor, which can be a web page, a content holder. You could even do it in a web application, a blog post, any of that kind of stuff. Anywhere in the system that you see this editor, you can plug in the code for a Google map. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to maps.google.com. And once we get there, we're going to plug in an address. So for example purposes, let's say this was for an event that we were holding at Comerica Park, which is the stadium for the Detroit Tigers. So I type in Comerica Park. Now, the nice thing about this is that Google Maps is set up with some locations already pre-programmed in. However, let's say they didn't have, let's say I typed in Comerica Park and nothing came up. I can actually type in the physical address just as 2100 Woodward Ave, Detroit, Michigan, and search that way, and I'll end up with essentially the same thing. So you can do it either way. Once you get your address plugged in here and it pulls up the map for it, over here on the right hand side you'll see a little link that oddly enough says link. So if you click on that, you'll see it drops down a couple of lines of code, one for emails or instant messages and the other one to embed in a website. What we actually want to do is click on this link here that says customize and preview embedded map, because we want to know what this is going to look like before we paste it into our site. So I'm going to click that link and it's going to pop up a new window. And in this window it's going to give me a preview of the map as well as the code that I need to copy. So let's say, well, you know, this marker is a little bit low in the window and I got extra space up here. I want to go ahead and just slide this up just a touch so I can get more of these two freeways in here. And actually I'm going to go ahead and actually zoom out just a little bit more too, because I think that'll be a little more helpful to my visitors. Once I get this positioned the way that I want to, and I set it for the size that I want it to be, I just come down here and select all of this code here just by pressing Command A on a Mac or Control A on Windows to select all. And then I'm just going to come up here to Edit, Copy. Once I do that, I can close out of this window and I can close out of this window and go back to my editor. Now in this content editor, right now you'll see that I'm actually in design mode. If you look down here at the bottom, there's this little tab that says design mode. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to click on the item next to it, which is HTML mode, and what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to take that code that I got from Google and plug it in here to the content editor in code form. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go edit, paste, and paste in that code that I got from Google. And now when I go back and click on the design tab again, it's actually going to show me the map. So you can see that I've just plugged that map into that particular page, and then all I have to do is click on Save and Publish, and that would be online on my page. Again, this can be plugged in anywhere that you see this content editor, whether it's a web page, whether it's a blog post, a content holder, web app item, any of those places you can plug this in. News and announcements, any of those types of places where you see this content editor, you can plug in a Google map. Very helpful tool. I think that you'll find that it helps your website visitors as well, because now I can come in here if I wanted to and I could click get directions to here, punch in my home address, and get door-to-door directions. So again, that's how you add a Google map to your website using the Fyrian system. Again, my name is Mark. I want to thank you for joining me for today's training.